Now let's solve the Natas level 11. First of all, let's log in. Here we can see that the first line says that the cookies are protected with XOR encryption. And the next line has a background color input. Let's try and play with this. As we can see, this is a hexadecimal code. So let's try and alter it to see what happens. As we can see, when we change the code, the background color of the web page has changed. We can't see anything else useful over here. So let's check the source code of the website. In the source code, first of all, again we have a PHP code. In the PHP code, we have a default data array which has two fields, show password and background color. Then we have a XOR encrypt function which takes an input and XORs it with a key which has been censored and returns the XORed text to us as an output. Then we have a load data function which checks if in the cookies a data field is present or not. If the data field is present, what it does is it base64 decodes the data field, then it XOR encrypts it, and then JSON decodes it and stores it in the temp data. Then it checks if the temp data has show password fields and background color fields. What it does is it copies the show password of temp data to the show password of my data and then returns the my data. So the show password of the cookie data after decoding is returned in the my data. Now we can see that the save data function is to save the data in an encrypted form. Then the data is the output of the load data function, and at the end we can see that if the show password of the data is equal to yes, we are given the password of Natas 12. Our main aim is to set the show password of data to yes. Now our main aim will be to change the data such that after the decoding, the temp data's show password is yes, which is copied into my data show password and eventually stored in the data's show password, which becomes yes, and the password for Natas 12 is returned to us. But the issue now is that the XOR encrypt function uses a key which is not available to us. To find out the key, first of all, let's check the cookie data of the website, for which we will open the Burpsuit software. We will start a temporary project, use the defaults, open the browser. As we can see, the browser has popped up. Now we will have to again log in to the Natas level 11 in this browser. After logging in, we will turn the intercept on and reload the page. As we can see, all the cookie data is shown to us. Here we can see that a data field is present over here, and this is the required data we need. Let's again check how the data was being decoded. So first of all, it does a base64 decode, then a XOR encrypt, and then a JSON decode. Let's again check the data cookie. Here we can see that at the end there is a %3d value. What this indicates is that the data cookie is URL encrypted. As only certain characters are allowed in an URL, so the rest of the characters are changed to their ASCII values starting with a %sign. So first we will have to decode it from the URL encryption, for which we can use any of the online decoders. Let's copy this and paste it in the online decoder. Here we can see the decoded result. Now over here, as we can observe in this line, that we have found out the data field of the cookie. After base 64 decoding the found out data of cookie, we can reach to the XOR encrypt. But over here, we do not know the key of the XOR encrypt. So what we will use is, we will use the property of XOR. What the property of XOR says is that out of any three, if we know any two, then we can easily find the third one. For example, if we have A XOR B equals to C and we know the value of A and C, then we can find out B by this expression. Therefore, after JSON encoding the temp data, which is equals to this, we can XOR both the found out cookie data after base 64 encoding, and after JSON encoding the temp data, we will find out the key of the XOR encrypt. So let's write a PHP code to do so. Over here, we can see that I have stored the XOR encrypted text as base 64 decode of the cookie we had found, and the variable as the array, and the original text as the JSON encode of the variable. Then I have written the similar XOR encrypt function which we have in the source code. Then I have simply XOR encrypted the original text and the XOR encrypted text. Let's run this. After running this, we can see that the four letters that are K, N, H and L are repeating. Over here in this function, we can see that the key is XORed many times till the length of the original text. So basically only these four letters are our keys. Now as we have found out the key, we will find the encrypted form of the array with show password equals to yes using the save data function, and use it in the burp suite to change the value of the data cookie. As you can see, I have copied the XOR encrypt function from the source code and changed the value of the key, and I have also copied the save data function from the source code. Let's run this code. After running the code, we can see that this is the value of the cookie we get. So let's copy this and paste this in the burp suite. As you can see, I have pasted the new value of the cookie in the burp suite. Let's forward the request. Here we can see that we have got the password for Natas level 12.